All right, I think we're on. Okay, good. I'm so sorry. So, my computer is doing some weird things. Weird thing for sure. But anyway, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so sorry. I was talking to myself for 5 minutes, I feel. Feeling pretty stupid at this moment in time. All right, so my check, I think it's working right now. Okay, let me make sure. Yep. And but anyway, so yesterday I went live. Didn't know what happened. It just poof, out of existence. Try to come back again, and then poof, out of existence. So my network is doing some weird stuff. Okay, my computer is doing some weird stuff. I don't know. Maybe because we're talking about GME, right? It's always happened. Joe Carter's probably noticed that, noticing that too. But yeah, let's just say that nothing suspicious is happening. Nobody's trying to hack us or anything like that, so that's good. All right, so today it's going to be a short one. I don't have anything planned, substantial. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about Bitcoin and then a little bit about GME. That's it. Okay. And then tomorrow well, for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a vacation, a short one. It's long overdue. I feel like I need some. So haven't take off work that long to that extent. So I'm thinking, okay, let me just take a short break from work and all that stuff. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on. There will be time in which I will probably be free. But we'll see. We'll see. I feel like I might not be on as often. I might just wait until I come back, which is towards the end of the month. Maybe by then, we're gonna be able to, listening into earnings call and all that stuff. So I will be back on time for that to cover whatever we need to cover. Huh? So June 12th is what we are kind of shooting for, right? For the shareholder annual meeting. That's good. But anyway, so today price action, I feel like we're too strong to be pushed down the first 2 hours, right? And then the rest of the trading hour, it went up again. So it's pretty, again, like look at this. What they've been doing is dump and then slowly trickling back down. I mean, back up. Okay, buying it back up, whatever. So the same way over here. Same trick, same trick right there. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if Ron Kitty's gonna be listening in. Who knows? He might be watching. Tweet already, sir, please. We need some green or some encouragement over here. Okay. But anyway, nothing changed. Honestly, I mean, obviously, the fundamentals still the same. Nothing changed whatsoever. The price action is just gonna do whatever it does until people agree with you. Then you can't do much for that. But also too, if you were to look at this one, this is a meme. So the speculation is that Brian Kitty is probably looking about, right? Who knows? I mean, that would be very encouraging, but it's not enough to just look. Okay, you have to tweet. You have to tweet. Anyway, so there's a lot of speculation too. Of course, again, is it speculation or just numbers, right? With China and trade war and all that stuff, it's still on the plate. But it seems like they're trying to negotiate as much as they can. Obviously, they're gonna do a 90 days pause on the tariffs for China. But who's gonna cave in first? Who knows, right? We see a lot of like deals being made with other countries, so Seemingly we're kind of leaning towards the Middle East, perhaps to lower the price of gas. Who knows if that's the deal that comes in. But yeah, there's been announcements, trillions of dollars of commitment to invest in the US. So that's encouraging to hear. But who knows? Again, the numbers might not be impressive when it comes to already having, the derivative market of, hundreds of trillions of dollars that are hidden somewhere. And the word of, the words that was, or the things that I've heard is that Scott Bessent was about to deregulate the bank again. And so that's not going to be good for anyone because that means they are able to leverage the depositor money even more. So as bad as it is now, it cannot be fixed. So who knows if that trillions of dollars investment into the US is going to help much at all. But anyway, and perhaps again, this is why the strategy of having Bitcoin on as a treasury or a reserve asset of some sort is actually a good thing. But you've seen a lot of states, right, coming to pass, or at least put the build on the House floor so that they could pass the Bitcoin reserve. I think the last I've heard was like Missouri or something. But different states are following through. But this is Howard Lutnick, right? He's very bullish on Bitcoin. And this is what I say. Okay. So am I muted again? No. I think I'm on. Okay. So you probably just joined in, huh? But anyway, I am okay. So with that narrative in mind, right? This is a highly official, person of interest. Okay, he's closer to the president, obviously, but of course, Congress has to pass into the law, stable coins, and all that stuff, right? All of that needs to be in place before the next administration could really take, or at least the institution could take crypto even more serious. Now it's just a way for people to kind of leaning into whether they want to add it to their portfolio or not, treat it as like a stock of some sort, high tech or whatever, again, a hybrid of commodity versus, stocks. So like he was saying, like people should have the freedom to buy and sell Bitcoin anytime they wanted to, right? And of course, like anytime you make any transaction, they could still tax it. Yes, go ahead, tax it, but don't limit people the freedom to buy and sell it, And what I hate the most about the regulation sometimes is that they hinder progress, right? They prevent people from using their judgment to do business uh, in any way they seem fit, right? As long as you're not like, committing crime and all that stuff to do your business, why not? But for some reason, when crime being committed on the stock exchange for certain stocks, they turn a blind eye on that, right? So I don't know, but I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Pretty very sleepy at the moment right now. I think I'm on a vacation mode already. But anyway, so I really think the narrative will never stop. I think that this type of narrative is going to continue to come along. And then on top of that, other countries are getting into it as well. It's almost like an arm race. Not only countries, you have institution as well. MicroStrategy is never going to stop buying Bitcoin. And it's evident he's keep buying every possible chance he get. And then on top of that, there's been 5 different companies already that are trying to copy the same playbook here and follow through. So, of course, Bitcoin. Jimmy, hopefully we are going to kind of get some of that as well to hedge into the future, just in case Bitcoin really is going to be that pristine collateral, which I feel like it's going to be in the next, 10, 15 years. You've never seen anything like this. And couple that with AI and all that stuff is going to really shift the financial landscape here. With Bitcoin, it's not just Bitcoin, obviously, the whole industry is going to boom. Yes, there's going to be a bust too. Not to say that every crypto out there are useful. No. Only a handful that I feel like is going to be used for the plumbing of the financial, as a base layer. Okay. And I think, if any token that is fit for that, I think it's XRP for sure. XLM as well. Because again, it's not going to be just one chain takes all. No. You have different chain that, function differently. And so people could pick and choose, whichever one chain that they feel like is going to make them achieve their goals and all that stuff. The business is going to come, you guys, Visa card, MasterCard, all of those big company would be stupid not to look into it at this moment in time. And they already probably, getting involved in it already. There was a news about MoonPay integrating with Visa already. MoonPay, what was that? I think it's like XRP. Yeah, so MoonPay and MasterCard have joined force to enable stablecoin. And this is a connection with the XRP too. Okay. So it's coming, you guys. It's already here. It's been here the whole time. It's just that, when people are telling you to look the other way, right? Yeah. Why do you think they're telling you it's a scam? It's a scam. It's a scam for years and years already. Because they want to keep the price low, right? Whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's XRP, Fidelity adding so much Ethereum too. So what do you think? Do you think they're not knowing something? BlackRock's also add a lot of Ethereums as well. So the infrastructure of crypto is here to stay. Whether these institution is already doing the research that it needs to be done and see the upside potential here. Not just in Bitcoin. For sure Bitcoin's going to be number one, but man, other opportunity is also coming pretty close to mass adoption and all that stuff. Not to say there's nothing to be worried about, because with the hack of not hack, it's more like a infiltration of some sort, because it's more like elicit some employee in Coinbase. Okay, Coinbase was compromised, the employee, and they were kind of put a ransom, on them and all that stuff. So technically, it's not really Coinbase's fault in terms of like breach. They call it security breach on the technology side. It's more like a compromise on the employee side. So, I mean, there's a saying: doesn't matter how secure your security process is, right? if somebody's at your home is compromised, right? Thief could come in at any time. So, that stuff might not be avoidable at that time. I mean, what is the solution? I feel like the solution is to not store people's, information, and that's why KYC is very problematic, because you have a lot of security breach like this, and so it's better to have people buying it anonymously, or figure out how to make it anonymous. And I think blockchain could really solve that, because you have a zero knowledge proof and all that stuff too. So, but anyway, that's like the next technology to get into. It's way too much technical stuff. And also too, with Chainlink, they did an announcement where JP Morgan, Chase, okay, they have their own Connexus or whatever. How do you pronounce this one? Apparently, they did a collaboration, and they were successfully a cross-chain deliver via payments. So it's a pretty big thing, okay, to have these type of instrument kind of being tested by JP Morgan. Now, JP Diamond famously saying that Bitcoin is useless, and but blockchain is here to stay and all that stuff, right? Saying that it's a scam, it's not very useful at all. Okay, they keep saying that in public, right? But behind closed door, they're doing this testing themselves. So is it really useless though? or they're just trying to kind of distract you from buying that, right? Buying into the narrative, which is a good narrative to have if you understand how blockchain work, and that it could, really disruptive to the financial plumbing of the world. Okay. Again, remain to be seen by, of course, with more and more people getting more adoption, right? The next point of attack is the security part of it. I don't know how people are gonna solve that, but all I know is that these type of commodity really could really build wealth with this type of thing. Okay, much quicker than you might think. So, anywho, so let's see, Bitcoin. It's creeping back up again. I don't know. There has been a M2 money supply, right? If you were to kind of get into that, I think there was a video, somebody did it. Hold on. It was somewhere around January, right there. You could see, or could expect it to go up here. The last Fibonacci retracement or something. Hold on. Is that 31? Okay, let's go there. So that's the next extension, right? Naturally. And based on the global money supply, if it were to follow it 80% of the time, then it's going to be by July, the first week of July. Could expect it to go up there. And then it's going to correct a little bit and then, continue to the next leg up. So a lot of speculation, right? That Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million. And I think that's going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen this cycle though. My target is $400,000 to $500,000 a coin. And so again, based on the model, the rainbow chart and all that stuff. So I show you guys that before. All right, Jay. Jimmy Holding Corporation. It's just too strong. Yeah, too strong to be pushed down. Okay, good. The video was okay. Be more play the video again with the volume. Oh, okay. No, really? You know what? Maybe it's this one right here. Oh no! You guys, I feel like this computer is not cooperating. Oh, okay, it's not playing. Man.
Part of the just ordinary talking. People can hold it as assets. They'll trade it like a stock. There's no difference from it. Maybe, but it's not really a stock. It's more a commodity. I believe the way you talk about it is, what is Bitcoin like? It's like gold. To me.
Sorry, you guys. So this is Howard Lutnick, okay? And let me replay this one. Okay, there we go. Yes, I mean, very enticing, huh? Like, it's a freedom that we're all looking for, okay? To transact with each other without any third party, restriction. But yeah, so that's what Bitcoin represent. It should be, anyway, if they know how to, peer-to-peer trans. It's meant to be like that, where you just, exchange value with each other. And if the more people agree with that, ideology, Bitcoins can become more and more powerful over time. And again, like, I don't know how long it's gonna take for Bitcoin to go up to that level, but it seems like the debt crisis is here, that nobody could solve it. The only way that they could solve it is to print more money, devaluing your debasement of the dollar or any currency against Bitcoin. So if you measure everything against Bitcoin, right, everything would be cheaper in relation to Bitcoin. Okay, so the best analogy would be, it used to take 600 something Bitcoin to buy a house, right? Now 6 Bitcoin to buy a house. average house, even though, the house went up in price still. So it's inevitable that it's going to be less than 1 Bitcoin, then you could buy a house. So if less than 1 Bitcoin, you could buy a house, 1 Bitcoin is probably will be $1 million, in 9 years. So again, the natural progression, right? Who knows? It really depends on how many world governments out there are printing money. And again, arm racing, right? You have sovereign wealth fund. You have all the big guys are buying into, Bitcoin related company, MicroStrategy, and all that stuff. So it's coming. The evolution is here, you guys, with Bitcoin. To me, again, Jimmy's picked the right battle here, or at least the right commodity, if they are buying Bitcoin. But my point is, you have a good leadership here that really understand what is going on. Yes, even though people are like, Jimmy is late to the game in terms of, buying Bitcoin as a treasury, adding Bitcoin into the balance sheets. You really don't want to be the first, okay? And if you are going to be the second one, third one, fifth one, or the seventh one, why not do it correctly, right? So I don't mind to wait a little bit longer just to see how people would receive Bitcoin and all that stuff on the balance sheets. As a small company, I feel like we could move a lot quicker than big ones. And the fact that the board of directors already, make the decision to go ahead with Bitcoin, adding Bitcoin into the balance sheets at this speed, I feel like it's a blessing for sure. I think Microsoft, what's the other one? Apple shareholder was trying to petition to get into Bitcoin as well, but the vote didn't go through. So that means, hey, we'll probably be beating those big companies, right? In terms of, storing Bitcoin as a treasury. So I don't know. Again, I feel that it is the right choice to do. As far as like the cyber attacks and all that stuff, I think, I feel like that's kind of part of the game now, right? you have to be careful, but also to just because you're scared of the cyber attack doesn't mean that you're not getting into it. Just be careful, right? So I'm sure, we would have insurance and all of that, taken care of. Will we sell custody? I doubt it. We'll probably have like people looking after that. Anyway, so yesterday I was playing this this video here, and it just meant to show how, when you don't see the price action doing something, right? You're typically feeling so antsy and you think like nothing is happening. But let's listen to our call leader here, and we'll see. Yes, the thesis has been the same. Nothing changed about the company. If anything, it's better, right? When people were buying over here, the fundamental was very bad. Okay, very bad. But people still buy it over here, right? Nothing to scoff at here. And so over here, more risk. Okay, you see the risk there? Boom, coming crashing down right there. Over here, less risk. So which one would you rather buy? Here or here? Of course, over here. But for some reason, people are still complaining, right? And market psychology is like this, where people don't want to buy it over here. Right? That's what Ron Kitty was saying. Right? People don't want to buy it over here, even though, yes, there was like a catalyst, Rand Cohen got in, Scion Capital, whatever Michael Burry was buying in. Nobody really paid attention to it until it's too late for them already. Boom. And then you see that amazing, candle, because people were either caught off guard or they just saw the green candle and then they're like chasing that momentum. Lots of things happening during that time. And so you really want to be careful when it is that popular already. Now, of course, at this point, I feel like, yes, GME is going to become popular again at one point or another. I don't know when it's going to happen, though. So I'm curious to see for sure, right? Meantime, all we have to do is just buy more. Accumulate whenever you can, right? You couldn't hear the video either? What is this? Hold on. Really? Oh my gosh.
It takes time to digest stuff, and what happens is the market wakes up one day, they're like, oh shit, did we miss that bull thesis? This whole time we were focused on physical versus digital, blah blah blah, on the data. We missed this huge upside on GameStop reinventing itself, or they didn't take it seriously enough. And what happens is that's what I'm talking about, the inflection point. It feels like it happens overnight, but the thesis has been the same. It's been the same. A slightly positive, bullish.
Yeah, sorry. I wonder if I jump. Alright, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yes. So, I'm sure you guys seen this clips before. And, it just, again, he's just talking about how the market doesn't really seems to care until it's too late for them to care already. That's the gist of it. Again, it's been down like this, and don't be fooled that nobody is really paying attention to this at all. The biggest thing you see here is that you see the institution are accumulating like crazy, right? And slowly but surely, I'm telling you, the institutional ownership is going to be a lot higher by the end of this year. And again, hopefully we explode by then, and retail catch on to it. I'm not saying retail like you and I. Obviously, you and I we've been here for quite some time. We're more like a long-term investor type thing. But I'm talking about the people that come in, doesn't know anything about GameStop, want to establish the new position here. Typically those people truly will miss out on this, right? Because again, they just don't see it, and they think that this is overvalued, and not realizing the company has been raising money like crazy. Not only that, Bitcoin, right? Not many people know about this, you guys. I'm telling you, I don't think they even know that GME's thinking about adding Bitcoin into their balance sheets at the moment. And so you and I are pretty early on, almost like over here, right? Back over here, I didn't know anything about GameStop, you guys. Only the people that are in the know a lot about this company. And so the same way, right now, I know a lot more about this company than any of my peers, than any of my, people that are walking around the street right now. See? So, and of course, a lot more people know about Bitcoin than GME, I feel, right? And so, it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, when people are going to agree with you. I mean, think about how many people disagree with Bitcoiners when it was $1 per coin, $2 per coin, $100 a coin, $1,000 a coin, $10,000 a coin. In every single step, people think that it's too expensive, right? At $100,000 a coin, people still think it's expensive, and so people are gonna keep chasing, right? At $1 million a coin, people gonna think that it's gonna be expensive. At $10 million a coin, people are gonna think that it's too expensive, right? At some point, you're gonna realize, oh shoot, you never have enough Bitcoin, right? If you keep saying it's too expensive at every single year, every single 4 years cycle, then yeah, you're missing the big picture here. Okay. Anyway, so let me see, what else do I have? I think that's all I have for today, you guys. I'm pretty tired at the moment, but anyway, I just want to come on here because I'm flying tomorrow, and yeah, so I won't be free to do anything until June 1st. Okay, but during the vacation, I might have a few hours here and there, so I might pop in just to say hi. But yeah, just in case Jimmy go to the moon, right? I have to update you guys just in case you guys don't know that. But yeah. All right, guys. I think I will let you go. I'm going to be my bedtime soon here. So yeah, stay vigilant. Tomorrow is another trading day, so we'll see. I'm thinking $30 a share. Yeah, I think that's a good hope. Okay, and yeah, we'll see. Hey Lionel, what's up? Hi, I'm going out right now.